Christmas, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. Because
Hello fans, this is a special look at A Nugget of Life brought to you directly from the directors. Today we will be going over how we were able to take all of our shots, as well as why we recorded what we did. Given that our movie is about the life cycle of a chicken, we decided to use an actual chicken as a Steadicam by mounting a mini camera to his head. To do this, we clipped a mini camera to an egg carton that was tied around the chicken's head in order to avoid directly mounting to the chicken and causing any injuries. Chickens have a unique ability to keep their heads perfectly still when moved due to a special reflex in their necks. This allowed us to record a steady shot, however at times it was not steady due to the chicken being a chicken and moving its head around and looking around. Nevertheless, this helps provide an even more realistic glimpse into the point of view of a chicken throughout its life cycle. We hope you enjoy the following clips from the movie.
So to start off, we will talk about our shot one. Our first shot involves a tracking shot of chickens as they walk across their coop. The tracking shot is typically used in cinema as a shot which follows the object or person throughout a scene as usually as they move horizontally. The tracking shot in this case, we follow the chickens as they move about their coop. Now, what we used in this scene was the chicken and the apparatus attached to it as their first shot. This provided a more stable shot, and then the second shot we used just an iPhone camera, or any camera in general, which provided a more shaky shot. In this scene, the shot is used to emphasize the fact that this is the part of the chicken's life cycle in which they are born and which they grow up in, and it's primarily the first part of their life cycle. So that is why we used a tracking shot to follow multiple chickens around in this scene.
In the second scene, we used a dolly in to portray the chicken going into the grill. The dolly in is performed by taking the camera and physically moving it towards an object. In this case, it represents the perspective of the chicken going into the grill. We shot the scene two different ways, one time using a chicken as a stabilizer, one time using a handheld camera. The use of the chicken created a more stable dolly in, and the handheld camera was not as stable and was a little shakier. The meaning behind the scene was to portray the chicken's point of view as it was entering the grill, and in our film it was displaying its imminent doom as it's about to be cooked for dinner.
A dolly out is a technique which often involves having your camera on a wheeled platform and then moving it along a track. In a professional setup, this means having a dolly grip with your camera operator riding also on the platform. In our production, however, we have a slightly lower budget and opted to use a chicken with a camera mounted to its head instead, due to the chicken's naturally stabilizing reflexes. Although it can be used to achieve the same thing, the dolly out is actually different from zooming out because while you're zooming out, you can only change the focal length of your lenses, allowing more room in your shot. But instead, the dolly out is a more sophisticated way to widen your shot by changing your viewer's perspective and the depth of the shot. In this specific shot here, a dolly out on the grill is used to represent the final form of a chicken that it takes in its life cycle.
First, I wanted to thank you for watching our film. It was a lot of fun to make and we couldn't be happier with the result. I was in charge of editing for this movie. For the first scene, I wanted to showcase the happiness that new life can bring to the world. I did this by inputting a music track that is meant to brighten the viewer's mood. I then used a blur transition to change the scene too in order to show the passing of time between the first stage of the chicken's life and the middle stage. For the middle stage, since the chicken is about to be cooked by the grill, I edited the Jaws theme into the background in order to create a feeling of suspense. At the end of the scene, I put in a bright light that represents the chicken's journey to heaven. Due to the somber nature of the final scene, I put in Simon and Garfunkel's Sound of Silence in order to highlight the depressing mood and the chicken's death. Thank you.
Save a horse, ride a chicken. Ride 'em, cowboy.
Yeehaw! Whoa!